Hey, hey. What is up, people? What is up? What is up? We are here. We are live. It is Saturday, which means it's time to get silly. What is going on, people? Hello, good morning. How are you? How is everyone? We are here. We are here. We are here. Oh, Lord. It's been a long, rough week for the kid, but we're here. Hmm. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna be before you long because I need to be resting. But nevertheless, I said I'm not going to not do silly Saturday, so I'm here. Hmm. What is up with y'all? What's up? Hey, Button Jessica, what's good, my love? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, Tracy. Hey, So Jeff. Hey, Abby. Hey, Cams. Hey, Quintessential Miss Trisha. Volvo. What's good, people? What's up, everybody? Hey, what is going on? So glad that y'all are here. So glad to see y'all. Y'all got y'all face in the place. Oh, looking for it, Jessica. She sent me a cash out for the snack fund. Appreciate the donation to the snack fund. So glad to be here to have me a snack. Um, so anyway, we're here. Our agenda today isn't too heavy. However, um whenever our agenda isn't too heavy, that means that we probably are going to be here for a long time. A mess. A mess. But nevertheless, we are here. Um, all right. So let me see what we got going on my agenda for today. All right. Just pulling up everything now. Y'all know we have had a very long week, y'all. You do not even want to know what this week has been like for the kid. Nevertheless, we are here. So, um, how are you? Go ahead already. Oh, okay. I'm just reading. I don't know if I. Don't do that, Joshua. Don't do that. You fine being here. We'll have no problem with you, Joshua. Listen, everybody's welcome here. However, we do monitor our comments and everything. We don't like to sometimes have things out there that, go against, what the person on screen is saying, you know. Not that I can't have comments that go against me, and I used the wrong phrase. Not that go against me, but that hurt people. That's what I'll say. That's usually a comment that I feel is hurting someone will probably make me go, yeah, we can't do that. All right. So, but you fine, Joshua. You fine. I don't know what my mod's gonna do. Mod Squad, listen. Shout out to the shout out to the men and women in blue, the Mod Squad. Anyway, hey Nappy Child, hey Boo, hey Boo. So let me get this first story out the way, and then we can go from there. So, come on, computer. My computer is doing the most. Okay, y'all know how my computer be acting. It's doing the most. So it is October, and October is homecoming season for most schools. Most schools have their homecoming during the month of October. If you went to an HBCU, you you know homecomings are just a religious experience. Um, you drink it, Abby? Listen, child. I got a little something to drink that I opened up. Well, I shouldn't, but since Abby done got the party started, well, hold on. Hold your line. Y'all can blame Abby. I probably shouldn't. But since Abby, so I found this was way earlier this week. This was like Monday or Tuesday this week. I found some um I found some good, not good, but decent sangria. And when I say decent, like most people when they make a sangria, it ends up not being packing a punch or being, a good, you know, having a good little thing. This sangria that I found has 13.9% alcohol. So for a wine, a 13.9% alcohol for any wine is good. So I am going to drink this little bottle of Capriccio. This is their red wine sangria, their red sangria, Capriccio. It's not bad, not bad at all, not bad at all. So, uh, hey Vonda, what's good? So, so we are talking about how if you go to an HBCU in the month of October, that's homecoming season. This is the time of year when you go out and you be about the religious experience that is homecoming. We talked about that last year this time and how great it is to be at a homecoming. Anyway, which brings us back to HBCUs. Now, the HBCU we're talking about in particular this time is Howard University. Now they got a bit of a problem this year. I believe Howard's homecoming, is it this weekend or next weekend? It's coming up. Oh, here go really be. I knew she was gonna pop out of the bushes talking about G-Ho. Oh God, G-Ho is homecoming at North Carolina A&T. They call theirs G-Ho because they're all hoes over there. No, I mean they're not hoes. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, it stands for greatest homecoming on earth. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I've been to some great homecomings. Howard has a great homecoming. But we're not here to talk about homecomings, even though we could spend a whole live talking about homecomings. Okay. Listen, have I? No, I've never been to G-Ho, so I can't say it's the greatest homecoming on earth. I don't know. When do I get my next hit of you got to talk to Really B? Because Really B, the only reason we didn't do it this week because I had a procedure, an oral procedure this week, so I had to. I couldn't do it. I was off the grid, out of commission this week because of the because I had that. But we will be back next week. Don't worry. We got you probably Wednesday. Look for us Wednesday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Two of my things that I'm going to talk about today do come in the lane of education, but I'm going to talk about it now because if I talk about it on Teacher Project 2.0, I'm going to lose my mind, have a whole sugar spike, and really be going to be looking at me like this. Really, you just going to do this on our show? And so I'd rather talk about them now so I'll have a whole sugar spike and lose my damn mind on Teacher Project 2.0. All right. So let me read this story. Howard University students are protesting on campus over poor housing conditions, student safety, and a lack of representation on the school's board of trustees. Students gathered at the Blackburn University Center on the school's northwest on the school's Northwest DC campus during lunch on Tuesday, refusing to leave until the school administrators respond to the request for a meeting with the student leadership on future housing plans and in-person town hall forum with Howard President Wayne A.I. Frederick, and the reinstatement of affiliate trustee positions with voting power. The other issues that led to Tuesday's protest included tuition and corona preparedness, according to an anonymous student who asked to remain unidentified, fearing discipline from the university. According to Ebony, Howard Senior Anaya Vines, the founder of the Live Movement, addressed the crowd from one of the school's rooftops in a video shared on Twitter. Quote, we are not here just to go to class. We are here to be leaders. We are here to be advocates. We are here to be change makers. Vines also spoke with WUSA 9 to explain why she led the demonstrations at the university. Quote, this is really just making sure that we're united. We're united as Bison, but also as HBCU students. We are in buildings that were taken up by great people, our alumni. We have a long list of people, so we would be doing them a disservice if we did not take a stand. And it goes on and on and on. So, um, see if there's anything else I want to talk about. All right, so I do want to read this part. It says the school's housing issues angered students and compelled many of them to speak out. One student posted a video on Twitter in September highlighting the poor condition of her living space. According to WTOP, the school said that any student who reported flooding or mold in dormitories could relocate temporarily or permanently, and spoke of holding the parties responsible for maintaining the upkeep of the residences accountable. The university made the decision to eliminate the affiliate trustee positions, which have been held by students, faculty, and alumni a few months ago in a video announcement. So they just fighting for it all. Now listen. Now here's what's going on. Y'all know I took one course at an HBCU. I took one course at FAMU. Uh, I had a lot of friends that went to FAMU. I went to Florida State. Um, and let me give you some of the ugly side. You know, we talk and we herald our HBCUs, and we should. They're great places. But we don't talk about the bad stuff. I'm just being honest. These are great institutions and great places, but sometimes the alumnus, the people who come out to recruit you, leave out some of the bad stuff. Now, if you went to college back in the 90s, early 2000s, you want to talk about infrastructure bill? They could do an infrastructure bill just on some of the buildings down there to HBCUs. And this is why a lot of people and advocates for HBCUs were upset when Joe Biden reneged on the amount of money that he said he was going to try to give to HBCUs. Now, they didn't necessarily cut the funding of HBCUs. That's not what happened. Biden and Harris had run on a platform saying that in their Build Back Better plan, that they would give some 45 billion with a B plus dollars to HBCUs. And now that has dwindled down to about between 2 and 3 billion, less than 10% of what they promised. Some of these to call some of the buildings and dorms at HBCUs dilapidated would be giving it more than it should be given. Please be clear. I can give you a perfect example. Earlier this year at FAMU, they just tore down Pattyfoot dorms. Now, if you ever been to FAMU, I wish a little baby was here. Pattyfoot was one of the first and only co-ed dorms at FAM. I mean, they have a few of them now. They got, several of them now, but Patty Foot is older than God. Like some of those dorms at FAMU was like older than God, like older than our parents, okay? And had never been remodeled, never been renovated. And so they just there when I got to school in the late 90s, there were dorms, even on my PWI, predominantly white institutions, that people who lived in the dorm told me, said, I remember a couple years ago, they just put air conditioning in these dorms. This is in the late 90s. When you're talking about in a state like Florida, where it feels like the devil's nutsack in August. Do you hear me? And you got dorms that were just getting air conditioning in the 90s. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And while my PWI that I went to started renovating dorms much earlier than FAMU, and I know a lot of people who went to a lot of HBCUs that talk about they go back to campus, and it's just now that some of these dorms and some of these historic buildings are just getting renovated. And we're talking about buildings that have been around 60, 70, 80, 90, some 100 plus years without renovation, except for maybe adding air conditioning. You're talking about um, buildings and dormitories that may have mold in it, flooding. You heard in the story they talked about flooding and mold and stuff like that. That ain't even talk about some of the other stuff that you had to endure. Now, if you went to a school in the 90s, you remember having to wait in the dreaded financial aid line. Put a 27 in the chat if you went to school in the 90s or early 2000s and you know what it is to wait in a damn near 3 day long, not 3 hour long, 3 day long financial aid line trying to figure out what's going on with financial aid. I know friends um that I didn't have those issues at my PWI. I'm not gonna lie. When I went to school, I did all my paperwork. By the second week of school, my financial aid had come in. It was paid. Baby, I know people who were into the second, third, and fourth week of school still waiting in the financial aid line. Back in the day. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying. Waiting in the damn financial aid line all day one day, only to be told, all right, come back tomorrow. You get there before the crack of dawn the next day. You still wait the whole next day. You'd have missed class the whole first week of class that got withdrawn from class because you didn't go because you worried about financial aid. That don't even include the fact that see, Sweet Polly know what I'm talking about. She know I ain't lying. The financial aid line was the first line from hell. The second line was registration. Now, register. See, kids nowadays would never understand what it was like before online registration. Now, when I got to Florida State, we didn't have online registration then. We still had phone registration. And what you would do is you would like it was so archaic because we still had pay phones on campus back there. Because back in the late 90s, most students didn't have no cell phone. So I remember some of y'all youngers not gonna know any parts. What's going on, Patty Jude? Some y'all youngers ain't gonna know no parts of it. Waiting in the register. First of all, I remember you would you only in your dorm room, you only had one phone. So if you had a roommate, only one of y'all was gonna use that phone. And y'all was gonna fight to see who was gonna do that. Then you strategically knew where every payphone was on campus. So you had to go and like hibernate next to the payphone, damn near have your weapon of choice at your side so you can fight off the next motherfucker who was trying to use that same payphone so that as soon as the registration window opened, you could immediately dial real fast and get in and try to get your classes. Why was that important? Because you had to ensure that you got the right classes during the for the schedule. Remember, you had to made up your the schedule you wanted, schedule A. And then you had plan B. Then you had plan C. Then you had plan D, E, F, G, and H. Where if you didn't get this class, or if that class was full, then okay, I could do this class. And you had to have that shit was like quantum physics. That's why some of us older people are so goddamn smart. Because trying to figure out a goddamn schedule in college was like quantum physics. Because you knew, okay, I gotta have a schedule that allows me, because you knew some of the people who was lucky enough to know how to work the system, and they only had classes on like Tuesday or Thursday, and they had Monday, Wednesday, Friday off. You know, it usually was like a senior or somebody or a junior, and they knew the system and they knew the right people down there at the registration office, and they only had a class Tuesday or Thursday. No class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. None at all. None. All of that. But that's what I went through when I was going through that, right? Because you don't want that dreaded 8 o'clock class. Or if you go to some school, there's a dreaded like class that you can take that's like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at like 9 o'clock at night, where you can get out of that to damn near 11 o'clock. And now that done fucked up your whole weekend because you got to be in goddamn class. Because there's always a teacher who teaches that class that wants you to be at every class. And they got to have you sign in and all this dumbness. Just a mess. Anyway, while I was doing that on the phone and fighting white people over the payphone, my counterparts across the tracks at FAMU, they didn't have call-in phone registration at the time. They still was working on the old system where you had to wait in line for the registrar to try and get your class, which was another 3-4 day process. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. So these are systems and things that we worked on there. And so as you can see, some of the point that I'm making is some of these things, not specific to what I'm speaking of, but some of these things like the housing issues, because a lot of universities have improved like registration and financial aid process. Some still need some work, but a lot of these things need to be improved at these HBCUs. And with the right funding, you would hope that this would happen. The problem that bothers me about this whole story is, if you remember in the article, there was a student that mentioned why they were protesting, and then they said, I don't want to be identified because I fear that the university is going to, I'm going to have repercussions with the university. And remember, universities, you know, are the protests are the bloodline of and lifeblood of students at universities. Protests and protestings and things are as much a part of university life as going to class. And that doesn't matter if it's at an HBCU, if it's at a PWI, if it's wherever. Young people protesting is a part of the history of universities here in America. That's a part of the fabric of what makes colleges and universities what they are. Much of the civil rights movement, if not for SNCC, okay? Remember SNCC and all of those other groups led by young people, teenagers and young 20-year-olds, the civil rights movement wouldn't be what it is. And so, and a lot of that took place at HBCUs. Remember, it was the four boys from North Carolina A&T that started the first sit-ins. Remember, sit-ins in the civil rights era started with the four young men at North Carolina A&T. And so it surprises me. Well, I shouldn't say it surprises me, but it bothers me that the university would say, yeah, y'all can go ahead and protest, but please understand y'all gonna have these consequences and repercussions. When I feel like if you take that experience of protest away from students at these universities, you're gonna take away what makes student life for what it is, what makes the college experience what it is. Hey, B.R. Burns. Look at Patty Duke. Patty Duke said I had a German class at 8 a.m. Patty Duke, I had a 8 o'clock class my freshman year because I was my major was in the sciences, so we could not clip out of any math or any so the only math class they let us clip out of was um college algebra. But I had passed my AP calc test AB with a my AB AP calc class AP calc AB. I passed with like a 4. Child, I went to that University of Florida State University. They looked at me like, "Well, okay, what you pass with? You gonna take this good?" They said they forced us to take trig and pre-cal um freshman year at the university because they were like, we don't know what they was teaching. You gonna take it here. Child, I remember having pre-cal at 8 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My freshman year, fall freshman year, pre-cal. Oh, I hated that class. I hated my teacher. I hated having to be up that early. Oh God. I remember the semester I was pledging. The semester I was pledging, I had genetics at 8 o'clock in the morning. Genetics. That was the only time Dr. Elliott taught genetics, and Dr. Elliott was the only teacher on campus who taught genetics. And you knew if you took genetics, you knew you had to endure him, and you knew he was going to only teach it at 8 o'clock. Baby, when I tell you we used to be leaving set and stuff at like 7 something in the morning. I used to have to leave straight from set and go straight to my genetics class and try to stay up and be coherent. Oh, oh. Listen, oh God, that 8 o'clock class. You don't even want to know. And it seems so foreign because I remember in high school in Miami, high school started at 7:30 in Miami. You knew you had to be to school at 7:30. And it wasn't that big of a problem when I was in high school for me to get up and go to school at 7:30 in the morning every morning. Baby, when I got to college, it's like a light switch went off and went bloop. No, you won't be getting up. Maybe it was the excessive drinking and partying that we did and all of that. Cha. Cha. Cam said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. was a death sentence. It was. I missed a good 2 months. Yes. Ooh, baby, when you get to college, listen, let me tell you, some about them 8 o'clock classes, you be like, girl, they are the hardest class. I don't understand. It's like some about like when you get in college, it's something about that 8 o'clock class that you be like, oh, how am I able to do? If they were protesting anything in college, they should have protested 8 o'clock class. Like all classes in college should not start until 10 a.m. Okay. That's what the protest should have been about. Listen, all classes will start at 10 a.m. until. How about that? Mm, that's just how I feel. Anyway, so that's what's going down there, going on down to the Howard University. It is ungodly, Vonda, that have class at 8 o'clock. Listen. Anyway, let me give y'all some quick drop stories that I saw perusing Al Gore's good internet, and I say, interesting. So y'all boy. I'm just gonna make him y'all boy, even though he is one of my boys. Unfortunately, he's a part of the Rainbow Coalition. He does have, residency down here to the Rainbow Coalition compound. Dear God, God help us. Anyway, 8 a.m. talking about Reaganomics, child. Child. Listen, quintessential. Did I tell you that I had an 8 o'clock class this semester I was pledging? Girl. Girl, and you hate. And see, what bothers me is every school has that collection of teachers and professors where they're the only one on campus who teach that class. They're the only ones that offer that course. You can't take that course with nobody else. You already know if you take this dot class at every major. I don't care what major it is. Every major has like maybe by two or three, maybe some even more than that, teachers where they've been at the school since your mama and your grandparents was at the school, and they the only one who teach that class. And baby, you know you got to deal with them. If you don't like, listen. In K through 12, it's called differentiated instruction, where teachers are supposed to differentiate their instruction to fit the students. Not in college, baby. You better learn some differentiated learning. Well, I don't care how you learn, you better differentiate it and make sure you understand whatever this professor is, because he or she is the only one who teaches that class. They ain't changing their standards and their practices and their best practices from 1931. They've been doing the same thing since 1931. And you done heard from your mama, you done heard from friends, you done heard from everybody back. You know you got to take Dr. So-and-so class. You know he or she don't fuck off. They only teach this course one time a day, and you just gonna have to deal. So that's why a lot of times after freshman year, you know you gonna have 8 o'clock class. I'm sorry if you're a freshman, that's just your life. You got to pay your dues. But after freshman year, you figure I don't have to take 8 o'clock classes unless you're dealing with a professor like that who only teach that course at the 8 o'clock hour. You be like, fuck, girl, y'all know who that one professor was. Ooh, listen, I just told y'all about Dr. Elliott in that genetics class, and listen, when I tell you that class was so hard, Dr. Elliott was so hard for no reason. If you were a male, now we knew it was a known thing that if you was a girl in Dr. Elliott class, all you had to do was sit on that front row, wear you a short skirt, and Dr. Elliott, he was here for it. You might have got your way through. But us boys, he ain't having to do with us, honey. If you gonna be there at 8 o'clock, you're not gonna fuck off with him. And he will tell you if you get if because he not only taught genetics, but he was the head of the department. He was the department head. So he would tell you if you get anything lower than a 80 in this course, I am going to fail you. He would tell you in a minute it's A, B, or F. There's no C or D in my class. He would tell you point blank, you either get anywhere from an A all the way down to a B, and then after that, everything else is an F. That's it. No questions asked. do not pass go. Do not collect 200. Man, this class was so hard. Oh God, I hate this class. Oh man. Anyway, and you know what? As you know what was so funny? He was actually the voice of when you used to remember I told you how we used to have to call in and for the registration. So the voice that you would hear reading out all of the courses and all of the little, pre-recorded stuff. Welcome to Florida State University registration. Dot 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 dot. It was his voice. Oh God, it was just so agonizing. Oh man. Oh God, I hated it. Oh, I hated it. I dropped the fuck out of those classes. I changed my major. Dr. Daddy said, listen. Ooh, child, you was lucky, Cab, child. You know, but even if you change your major like now, that every major had that one or two professor that you knew. Girl, you know you got to take Dr. So and so, and they was always Dr. So and so. You knew, yeah, you know you got to take Dr. So and so class. Don't play around. They have tenure. They ain't going nowhere. They was here before you got here. They'll be here after you leave. Child. Anyway, what was I? Oh, I know what I was about to talk about. I'm dreading talking about him because, unfortunately, as much as the Rainbow Coalition would like to not have this young man, we have to claim him. B.R. Bird said I had to take Dr. Chardrick to the board because he didn't give me the 2 A's that I earned. He said nobody gets. He said it's like, oh hey girl, you know the professors that's like, don't nobody pass my class. Don't nobody, oh god, my I took organic chemistry. Listen, and my organic chemistry teacher told me, say I've only given 2 A's in my entire career. Y'all ain't gonna be the third. Neither none of you all are gonna be the third. I was like, oh, I sure didn't get an A. I got a B. What I got a B minus? Yeah, I got a B minus. I left that B. Was glad about that B minus and kept it the fuck moving. I got this good B minus. Yeah, I'm good. No problem. No worry. Luckily, political science was struggling for people. Child. So I'm gonna just go over this story real fast. Your boy Jussie Smollett. Uh, he was trying to get his trial dismissed. Yep. Some 3 years later, we still are enthralled in the Jussie Smollett fuckery. They're scheduled for trial next month. His defense, his defense attorneys, he has new attorneys now. Fact, you say calling registration didn't exist in my time. We were prisoners of that damn child. I told you. I remember when we first got online registration was my junior year. My junior year was the first year of online registration. And this was during the time where you was getting for ready. This was fall 99. That was my junior year in college, fall 99. And that was the first year of online registration. I think that was the first year FAMU had call-in registration because they were still, and it wasn't for everybody. They were still waiting in the line that went from here, from Tallahassee all the way down to Miami. Damn near that line was goddamn long. Any yes, quintessential Justice Small Child. He's up in the Chicago. He has a new attorney. He's trying to get his case dismissed because what happened on the technicality, because they had brokered a deal that said that if he agreed to I had wrote it down, dear God. Wait. Um where's it at? God damn it. I had it. Oh, so if he paid a $10,000 bond and did X amount of hours of community service, that would be that would give him immunity, that he could broker a deal and that would give him immunity. That was with the former prosecutor. Now that prosecutor is no longer in office. They're down to the Chicago. They have a new prosecutor. The new prosecutor said, you made that deal with that young man. I'm not him, and I don't give a shit about what deal y'all made. Bring your ass down here to the trial, and we still gonna have this good trial. So Jussie's attorney said that's not fair. Y'all did this deal was brokered in good faith and with the former prosecutor, and y'all need to honor the deal that y'all made with us. We done paid this money. We done did our community service. Why you bothering us while we still having this trial? They tried to get the trial dismissed. The judge agreed with the prosecution and said, y'all have not presented any new evidence that demonstrates why this trial needs to be dismissed. So I'll see you yours on November 29th. We'll be here for said trial. Hey, Mariah Whitney. Child. Hey, Mariah Whitney. I ain't seen you in a minute. You know we love you down here, Mariah Whitney. That was your first comment, Mariah Whitney. You know you got 7 more, Mariah Whitney. You know you only get 8 comments. 8 comments in the chat, and then you go left, Mariah Whitney. But hey, boo, so glad to see that. There go. See, child, y'all know Mariah Whitney gets 8 comments. There go 3 right there. You got 5 more comments, Mariah Whitney. 5 more. Cause you know you gonna go left. You know you go. Listen, Mariah Whitney been around with me since the day I only have 4 people in the chat, 2 people in the chat, and he was one of the 2. So yes, Jay Wilson is still alive. The Mariah Whitney. Chat. Mariah Whitney is obsessed with 2 people. Jay Wilson and Sir William McCray, his husband, Sir William McCray. How you and your boo, Sir William McCray, doing? Anyway, I'm not in the beef sector, Mariah Whitney, so I don't know. Anyway, so like I was saying, Jussie Smollett said it's not fair. The judge said we don't care how fair you think it is. Get over it. Get over it. Okay. So anyway, it's going to be a jury trial. Jury selection starts on November 29th if you need them. Child. It hasn't quite been 3 years, but it's been almost 3 years. Because I think that was like January 2019. Almost 3 years, but it's 3 years to me. I'm just saying. Just saying. Child. You saw Sir William McCray in real life, you would listen. I've seen Sir William McCray in real life several times. It's the craters in his face for me and the nails that he has on for me. I agree, really. Be now people gonna pick at Jussie and people gonna say all kinds of nefarious stuff about Jussie. But if Jussie Smollett and his legal team brokered a deal with the prosecution, and that prosecution, and I believe that this is these are there are certain prosecutors like district attorneys and stuff like that that are elected, and they have a tenure and they're elected, and when they're moved out, a new person has to take on those cases. And so just like I told y'all about the black man that's now the head of the southern district for New York Southern District, he was elected, and so that means he takes on all of the cases of whoever the former prosecutor was. And so that's the same thing here in Chicago. So what's happened, Patty Duke, I don't, it must be that the judge, I don't know if it's the same judge that there before or if it's a new judge. Those details I'm not certain of, because if it's the same judge, I'm assuming that they have the right to say, yeah, we still working this out. But the judge clearly stated, I may have to look more into it. Oh, okay. I did read I am reading in the case that it says that Smollett's case is now being led by a special prosecutor appointed by another judge, and an arrangement that he would not upset. So it sounds like a lot of sketchy stuff going on. Also, I informed you that Jussie even had to get a new attorney. So I wonder if this new attorney, maybe he not getting his money's worth. I don't know. But what I do know is something seems fishy in this whole. I told you, as bad as the Jussie situation was, Chicago, their whole penal system and law enforcement system has been backwards on this from the whole time. Because if you remember the commissioner, the police commissioner came out and laid out almost every intimate detail of an active case. Remember, he came and had this big press conference and they went over all of the gory details of the case, when in most cases, what do you always hear? Hey, this is a pending and open case. I cannot go into detail about the specific. That police commissioner, the black man, remember, he was letting it all hang out. He was telling all of the goods. And yeah, something just does not say, as much as we might want to call Jesse a liar, or whatever you want to call him, say whatever you want to say. Chicago cannot get away, and their whole justice system in Chicago should not get away unscathed, because all of this shit just seems real, like, you know, it just doesn't pass the sniff test. I can't put my finger on what it is, but if I could, I would have to wash it. Shouts out to Sophia from Golden Girls, because it just seems real. As bad as Jesse's whole story or his whole situation is, the whole situation with the Chicago criminal justice system seems just as bad. Something ain't right about all of this. Something is not right. Let me see what y'all saying. Cam say, I'm still trying to figure out why he did. I don't think we'll ever know that, Cam. They need to leave him alone at this point. Why more? Why? What more do they want? He lost his career already. He did lose his career. That is true. Always get the deal in right. I'm sure they got it in writing, because if he went and did the community service hours and he went and did and paid the money, I'm sure that was in writing. Well, I don't know. I don't know. They call Cook County for reach. I don't know. It just, something just does not pass the sniff test down there. I don't know. We'll see how this trial goes. I'm praying for you, Jesse. Jesse, you still mobile. I still have not given up on you, Jesse. I was one of the few people up until the last second, and I still am holding on to a percentage of possibility that everything, that he can be vindicated and exonerated in all of this, because I just can't, for some reason, conceive that he would just fabricate all of this. But who knows? I don't know. But that situation seems real strange to me, y'all. Real strange. In other news, of people down here with spots down here to the Rainbow Coalition compound, Lil Bow Wow, Lil Bow Wow is not give us. I still right, really be. I'm with you on this. I am still here with Jussie. Give us free. Some I believe in you, Jussie. I still believe in Jussie. I don't know. I don't want to let it go. I still believe in him. I do. I don't, and I could be crazy. I could be like Kyrie Irving, who thinks the world is flat. But I really, a part of me just wants to hold on and believe Jussie. I don't know. I can't let it go. Whatever. So, speaking of members of the Rainbow Coalition, Lil Bow Wow and Omari are in the news now. Y'all know they broke up from their little when they were together, some years ago, busting each other down or whatever. Back, some years ago when they was doing albums together and busting each other down and everything. And then they went and got, girlfriends and, had beards and had beard babies and, fathered children, so as to throw you people off, because people started to realize that they were in a whole ass relationship with each other, busting each other down. And so now they have reunited, and now they just do bust downs in the dressing room or on the tour bus down here to the Millennium Tour. So we got the Millennium Tour going on. Vonda and Beard and Beards and Beard children. Anyway, why y'all let me on here this time of day? Because y'all know I am not wrapped tightly. Y'all know I'm not wrapped tightly. I'm just here to give y'all some good YouTube news for the week. Cause I was watching some of the stuff that's been going on this good Saturday, listening to some of the people trying so hard to fill my spot on a Saturday and try to be silly on it. They pale in comparison to what we do over here on Silly Saturday. We have cornered the market on what it is to be live on a Saturday. Some of these other people try to go live and tell y'all what's going on in the news on Saturday. They don't have the comedic stylings. They don't have the comedic timing. They don't have the intellectual wherewithal to do it like we do over here. So we're here. Anyway, so we got the Millennium Tour, okay, going on. Omarion is headlining the tour. So as a good I almost called him a good bottom bitch, but I really believe that they be flip-flopping. They give me a good verse tease. Like they give me that hey, let's thank I see you in a minute, boo. Listen, they give me that they flip-flop, okay? What they really give me is now I can see y'all mark my words. Mark my words. Don't be surprised if you see a collab between them and the newest kid on the block, Lil Nas X. Don't be surprised because they want to have a whole throuple. They would love to be in a whole throuple. What's going on, Jason? Between Bow Wow, Omarion, and Lil Nas X. I'm just telling you what I know. You heard it here first. Y'all know we break news over here first. You heard it here first. When it happened. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. You hit it right on the head, Jeff. So Jeff, Omarion is a verse top. Bow Wow is a verse bottom. Omarion just had just got his foreskin removed. He had to get circumcised as an adult. That's unfortunate. Because what happened, remember when his nudes leaked and it came out that he was uncircumcised, and then he went and got circumcised, and he was like, no, them not my nudes. I'm circumcised. You just got circumcised. You told on yourself. Everybody already. Anyway, Bow Wow told on you, girl. He told her that you still had your foreskin intact, and then you went and got it chopped off. Anyway, Bow Wow gives you power. But see, Bow Wow gives me. Let me tell you why Bow Wow gives me verse bottom, because Bow Wow gives me every now and again. He want to flex and try to act like he doing a little something. Bow Wow, we done seen his meet up in all of the internet too. He ain't work with that much. Omarion got way more than Bow Wow. Let's be clear. But anyway, let me get back to the story. So the story go, because y'all get me sidetracked. What's up, Jason? The story goes that so they're on this Millennium Tour. Omarion is the headliner. Omarion is like, boom, this is my tour. I'm just letting y'all come on here and frolic around for a little while for a little piece of change before I have my complete set. Bow Wow was not happy with that. Bow Wow and some of the other people were saying they only get a 15-minute set. They get 15 minutes to go out there. Baby, if you don't get it all out in 15 minutes, I am sorry for you, because that is all you get. 15 minutes. Now and he had a problem with that. Now I gotta agree with with Bow Wow on this. You bringing people on this Millennium Tour. Like I think Pretty Ricky is on this Millennium Tour. Bow Wow is on this Millennium Tour. I don't know who else is on this Millennium Tour. But you can't tell me that these people that you have on this Millennium Tour only get 15 minutes. You don't even get started 15 minutes. You just getting your first song. Out the way in 15 minutes. Like, they ain't even enough to get the band warmed up. It takes more than 15 minutes to change the set and change bands and stuff and musicians. I ain't found it yet, Tracy. I'm still looking. Still doing research on that. Anyway, so Omarion took to social media. He started ranting and raving as he always do. Girl, I can't believe they only give me, and y'all know I'm giving y'all all this. And girl, I know you didn't know he didn't. I'm gonna talk to my man. I'm gonna call him, and he better. Girl, you better. He was doing what Omarion did. Go to any Omarion live where he's going on and tell me that's not exactly how he look and sound. Oh wait. Go to any Omarion video where he's all animated and ranting and raving and tell me he'll be like, good, because I can't believe that you know, and I can't believe and you girl, you doing the most. That is not Omarion Bow Wow, not Omarion Bow Wow. That's how Bow Wow be. I be like, girl, keep it together. Bow Wow, keep it together. Girl, he was ranting and raving on Twitter and Instagram. And so he went to his boo and said and gave some good sloppy toppy and threw it back on him a few times. Okay. And child, he gave some sloppy toppy, threw it back a few times extra in the good tour bus, and he called Omarion on the phone. Now I don't understand why you called Omarion on the phone if y'all on tour together and clearly y'all in the same place at the same time. You could just go over to the dressing room or roll over while y'all in bed together down there to the tour bus or whatever. But allegedly he called Omarion. And Omarion, after getting some sloppy toppy and after getting it thrown back on him a few extra times, said, "Oh, no, no worries, no problem." And so now he's gonna get a full 45 minutes to an hour set. Everybody else still get the 15 minutes. Child. 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 If y'all don't believe, let me play this I'm gonna play the audio for this video of Omarion going on, okay? So y'all can know I'm not making this shit up, okay? Straight up. I swear to God, Atlanta, y'all are about to witness the greatest show you've ever seen. I swear to you on that. I'm tired of being calm. I'm done. I'm not. 4 years I've been calm. Nah. 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 Nope. 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 Stay different. G, you host a tour. What you told me tonight? Shit. No, no. You said Greensboro's waiting on who? Huh? Greensboro's waiting on who? Wait. Y'all see what I'm talking about? I ain't even got to do no, because you can even shit. I ain't even got to know what he said. I just got to do this. A mess. Just a whole goddamn mess. Hold on, he ain't done. Well, wait. Damn it. Internet. Anyway, y'all get the point that I'm trying to make. Y'all get the point that I ain't gonna play no more. Cause y'all know what I'm talking about. I had not practiced that. I hadn't planned that. Technically, that's the first time I ever even heard that whole video. But all I had to do was do like this. And it was perfectly in sync with Bow Wow and level plan of fuckery. Oh boy. Anyway, Omarion has acquiesced and said, okay, boo, I'm gonna give you what you want. This is why this is Silly Saturday, because we are silly for no goddamn reason. Just silly for no damn reason. Oh, God. I'm sorry, y'all. This shit is so funny. You can't make this shit up, y'all. You cannot make this shit up. Oh, man. Mm. So, anyway, that's Omarion and Bow Wow. I want to do that real fast. Another real short now. We spent a whole live on this next topic. I'm going to spend about 34 good seconds on this next topic just to give you an update. So update, really be updated it a little bit. Yesterday, I believe it was it yesterday? Or was it Thursday? Whatever. So Netflix is butchering this whole Dave Chappelle situation with their employees. So they suspended 3 employees that are trans women, and they suspended 3 trans women, reinstated those 3 trans women. One of the trans women then started a uh, or organized a protest against Netflix for the Dave Chappelle situation that is supposed to happen this coming Wednesday. And Netflix said, I don't know the fuck you lying. And they fired that individual. Because what happened was that individual, when they were organizing a protest, they supplied information with regard to um, the analytics of the Dave Chappelle series and the traction that it was getting and the amount of viewership. So the information that they gave out in the organization meeting was analytics for the Dave Chappelle special. Netflix says, "Oh no, we first of all we don't want you protesting. Second of all, you would not use our analytics to help us with this to help organize this protest. So screw you. We'll find the right clause in the employee handbook. You're fired." And they fired that trans woman who organized said protest. Um, so that has happened. Um, and more people, more employees at Netflix are now going to participate in said protest, even employees that originally wanted no parts of it, didn't want to have any parts of it, say, I'm not here. Yeah, I don't have nothing to do with it. But because of how Netflix and their CEO have vehemently and adamantly said, oh, this is going to happen. We're leaving it up. We don't care how you feel. Damn how you feel about it. They're not willing to bend, acquiesce, or even entertain the conversation between Netflix and these people who have an issue with it. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens on the 20th. But from the reporting that I've seen today, it's growing traction where more employees are saying that no, we're going to participate in this. So Netflix can fire whoever. Listen, if it's in their employee, now that person still has the right to say wrongful termination. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to end. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it at that. Netflix reminds me of many of the networks that in the early 1900s were asked to stop promoting comedians that did blackface and minstrel shows, and said it's comedy and it's free speech and we should be allowed to have that, and we don't see the problem with it. All of the arguments that people are making about what Dave Chappelle has the freedom to do and why it's not that bad are the same arguments white people made and white network executives made 100 years ago when we had minstrel shows and blackface and all of that kind of stuff. Because I mean, let's be clear. Um, when Dave Chappelle in the special says I'm a turf, and you can look that term up, TERF, turf, and tells you, and you see what that is. If that's not an attack on trans people, then I don't know what is. Let's just be clear. That'd be like somebody saying, "Oh, I'm a part of the KKK, and I'm just gonna talk and use black people in my comedy." We would be losing our fucking minds as black people, and we would be asking every black person imaginable to boycott Netflix and to cancel the comedian that did that. But because it's trans people and as a black community, we don't see it for gay and lesbians. And as much as we don't see it for gay and lesbians, they surely don't see it for our trans brothers and sisters. They're way down the totem pole, even below the gay and lesbians in the black community. But you'll vehemently fight for somebody to continue to spend more than half their goddamn special making that group of people the brunt of the jokes, because the people are going to tell you, oh, he talked about everybody, but he didn't spend more than half his special talking about those other groups. He spent 37 plus minutes of his special talking about trans community. But that's a whole story. That's a whole different ballgame. I'll let y'all hash that out and knock that out. But we talked about that the other day. The point that I'm making is Netflix might have a problem. I'm not saying Netflix is about to come crashing down or whatever, but they have a PR problem down to Netflix, because this story still has legs. Normally, even some of the most sensationalized stories have about a week. I'm talking about the most sensationalized and most out there. So you get about a week of pub. This story still has legs and it's growing. And so I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And so we'll see where this goes. I don't know. I am I just certain people are wired differently. Certain people are wired where they will throw caution to the wind and say, I don't care if this means I have to lose my job. I have to stand on principle, because at the end of the day, I have to wake up every morning and look at myself in the mirror, and to thine own self be true is the statement that I need to be able to make to myself. To thine own self be true. If I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I got to go to a job where they're doing things that go counter to me, and they're doing things that are going to cause me hurt, harm, and danger in the future, why the fuck am I going to still kowtow to their wishes? And you would think that black people who have been marginalized and still being marginalized and still being profiled and still being killed to this day, would sympathize and empathize with our trans brothers and sisters who face exponentially higher ridicule, profiling, belittling, and you name it. But who the hell am I? Who the hell am I? Well, Tracy, you know Governor Hot Wheels wants us to go back to 1776 if he would have it. Governor Hot Wheels out there. Go- Governor Hot Wheels is a whole listen. Um, and I'm just gonna put this out there. I hope y'all not expecting this white male CEO of Netflix to bend to the wishes of anybody. He's a white male and cannot empathize with a whole lot of minorities. I'm just saying. Child, Governor Hot Wheels over there in Texas is a goddamn mess. So I told you I wasn't gonna spend too long on that because I got another story. My next two stories are gonna share my sugar levels spiking. Insert sugar. Wait, no, it's time for a sugar spike break. Hold on. It is time because we're about to go into whole sugar spike. Let's get it done. Yeah. Oh dear God. It's time to regulate our sugar levels before we go into the next few stories. Let's regulate our sugar. We gotta get our sugar levels in order. So I am doing my best to eat this candy and regulate my sugar levels. All right. So, child. So, um, all right. Wait, what am I doing? All right. So, speaking of Governor Hot Wheels, that was a great segue because we're going to the great state of Texas. Speaking of Governor Hot Wheels down there to the great state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott. Texas, let me read this headline for you all so y'all can get a load of this. Texas school official advises teachers to offer books with opposing view of Holocaust. Slavery is next. I'm just just read it as I see it. So I told y'all, white people in this country want to take us back to a time where they had complete autonomy and complete supremacy. So while some of our Jewish brothers and sisters have been lingering off to the side, like, oh, I'm gonna let the blacks deal with that. That ain't our problem. We good over here. Y'all ain't so good. Y'all ain't so good. Y'all ain't so good no more. Because instead of y'all coming over here and saying, yeah, we're against critical race theory, yeah, y'all should do that to black people. Y'all stayed over there to the corner and said, yeah, we good over here. That ain't our problem. We'll let y'all fight that fight over there because they know not to mess with us. Apparently, they don't. Hmm. Let me read this to y'all. In an audio obtained, in an audio clip obtained by NBC News, Gina Petty, the executive director of curriculum and instruction for Carroll Independent School District in South Lake, Texas, advised teachers with books on the Holocaust in their classrooms to offer books with an opposing viewpoint to comply with the new state law meant to ban the teaching of critical race theory. Here's the audio. Hold on. Hold on. Let me let y'all hear the audio.
We are in the middle of a political mess. And you are in the middle of a political mess. And so we just have to do the best that we can. And so we're going to go and you're going to do what you do best, and that's to teach kids. I think we're all just terrified. I think you are terrified. And I wish I could take that away. I do. I can't. I can't do that. You are professionals. We hired you as professionals. We trust you with our children. So if you think the book is okay, then let's go with it. And whatever happens, we will fight it together. We will. There's a lot of districts that are in the exact same spot we're in, and no one knows how to navigate these waters. I mean, no one.
That's not the specific audio.
Hold on. And make sure that if you have a book on the Holocaust, that you have one that has other. How do you oppose the Holocaust? Believe me, that's come up. So number the stars.
Now, I find it funny, white people, that when we talk about, see, y'all put these rules in place. You people put these rules in place. Y'all put these rules in place. Y'all wanted opposing viewpoints to slavery and forgot that you have to be fair and you have to do it across the gamut. So if y'all gonna have hey Boogie L, if y'all gonna have opposing views to slavery and what happened to black people, you also have to have opposing views to the Holocaust and what happened to Jewish people. And I see y'all are outraged now. Oh, how do we oppose the Holocaust? How? The same way you oppose slavery and the killing of black people across the fruited plains. Which should not be happening. But since you, Governor Hot Wheels, and all of these other people across the fruited plains wanted it, y'all asked for this. You asked for this. You asked for it. And now it's here. Ain't no use of you getting all verklempt and up in arms and no. Let it go, boo. Let it go. You asked for this. See, it was okay when it was just black people and talking about slavery. But now it's such a big to do because now it's the Holocaust. Ain't so much fun now, is it? That it's not us black people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 And this is why I say it. This is why I say even, and this is even correlation to the whole Dave Chappelle situation. The point being that When a group of people tell you, no, this is wrong, you are offending us, or you're marginalizing us, or you are being offensive to us, other minorities need to help and fight with those people because your time is coming. Because the first time some white comedian says the wrong thing about a black person, then black Twitter and the rest of the black community is going to be ready to do all kinds of nefarious things. But where was that smoke? And where was that same energy when it was our trans brothers and sisters? And I'm not trans. And so I don't have a dog in that fight, but that's what I'm saying. You asked for this. And this is why you have to, when you have a group of marginalized people and you are another group of marginalized people, it doesn't help the situation for you to just sit in the background and be like, oh, that's not my issue. That's not my problem. You need to help and fight for those people as well, because next time it could be you. What you gonna do? Hmm, a mess. A mess. That's a whole mess. So Governor Hot Wheels and his people down there to the great state of Texas and TEA, Texas Educators Association, is going to have it where now, and I do have certification in the great state of Texas, teach. Teachers are going to be afraid to have books in their classrooms. Because if you have books in the classroom about the Holocaust, you're definitely going to have books in your classrooms about the opposing viewpoint. If you have books in the class about the atrocities of slavery, now you have to have books in your classroom about the opposing view. A mess. But you wanted this. This is what y'all wanted. It was cool when it was the black people. It was cool when you had these CRT people fighting CRT, these idiots against CRT that got that black principal fired in Texas. It was cool as long as it was us black people that had to bear the brunt of this. But now it's Jewish people. Oh, now we have to make a big to do about it. Now this is so horrible. No, it was just as horrible when it was black people. It's not more horrible now just because we're talking about the Holocaust. Because did you forget that there were just as many, if not more, and if I'm not mistaken, there was more mulattoes that or just as many mulattoes that were killed in the Holocaust that as there were Jewish people. But they never want to talk about the mulattoes and the mixed race children that were killed in the Holocaust as well. Because all we care about is Jewish people that are white presenting. And that is not our biggest sugar spike of the day. Oh, no, that is not our major sugar spike of the day. You are so right about that, Cam. And I said that when we were on that panel, if it were just black gays or black trans, nobody would give a shit. But because Dave Chappelle spoke out about gays, speaks out about gays and about trans in general, that becomes inclusive of the white gays and the white trans. And that's why there's outrage. But if it was just black gays and black trans, nobody would give two fucks. Let's be clear, the black community doesn't give two fucks. They're showing that every day. This Dave Chappelle situation certainly highlights that. Even some of the celebrities that you thought were allies and you thought that were um, okay with the Rainbow Coalition, they have shown their ugly side even with this Dave Chappelle situation. So I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. Thank you for your cash app, Tracy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jessica. There's your virtual blowjob. But Jessica and to Tracy. And your kisses for your cash app. But they, our community, our black community has shown us who they are. I just was surprised. Now, I will even admit some of the celebrities that have come out and spoken about this whole day have really shown who they are. And I was like, I thought you were an ally. Hmm, I thought you were okay with us over here, but it looks like you're not. Because for me, if you tell me that you're not willing to go to bat for our trans brothers and sisters, that means that us gays could be next. So I have no problems fighting and women for my trans brothers and sisters, even though I'm not trans, because I know if they couldn't going to do it to my trans brothers and sisters, they could easily do it to us black gays and black lesbians and black bisexuals. A mess. And with our last sugar spike story of the day, you dropping your babies at homecoming? All right, send the kids off good. Make sure they have a good time. All right, tell them we said have a good time at homecoming. Have a good time, Vonda. So, if you have not heard of this story, it's been all over the news this week. Maybe you've heard it. In the great state of Georgia, specifically the city of Rome, Georgia, there's a high school called named Coosa High School, Coosa, Coosa High School in Rome, Georgia. A group of black students were suspended for planning a protest against a Confederate flag that was allowed to be waved by white students. Lillian Huckabee, a white Coosa High School student, said she was yelling and loud in meeting with school administrators, but they didn't suspend me, Yahoo reports. However, when a group of black students organized a peaceful protest at the school, they were suspended. All the African Americans, they suspended them, and they didn't suspend the white students. So let me parcel this out for y'all. Let me explain to y'all what happened. They had Spirit Week leading up to the school's homecoming, okay? Some white students had some Confederate flags at what they themed Farm Day. They had some Confederate flags. They also threw out some racial slurs and racial epithets and tropes during this Flag Day, where they had these Confederate flags. Okay? Now, several students, and it wasn't just the black students that complained, it was black students, it was Hispanic students, it was white students, went to the school administration to express their issues with the fact that they allowed these Confederate flags, they allowed these white students to say these racial tropes and racial slurs and epithets and all of the things. And the administration did nothing about it. So those students began to start up a protest or organize a protest. And what the administration did, oh no, the white students were not suspended. The white students were allowed to do all of the things that they did. And because the black student and the group of students, remember I told you it was a group of students, black, white, Hispanic, and a mixed coalition, went and complained to this to the school administration. School administration said, get over it, basically. And so they started to say that they were going to organize a protest because the administration allowed this to happen. And what did the administration do? They suspended not all of the students that came and was organizing the protest, just the black students. That's what the fuck we got going on. Now, here's what the administration said. Over the intercom at the school. Please be clear. This was stated over the intercom at the school. The administration is aware of tomorrow's planned protest. Police will be present here at the school, and if students insist on encouraging this kind of activity, they will be disciplined for encouraging unrest. What the fuck do y'all want me to do with that? What do y'all want me to do with that? What do y'all want me to do with that? This is the high school. And the white students were allowed to display and wave their Confederate flag, throw out racial tropes, racial slurs, racial epithets during this farm day during homecoming spirit week. And when a coalition of students said that they had a problem with it and were going to plan a protest, the administration first suspended all of the black kids because we won't have you blacks over here having civil unrest on our good school grounds. Then, after they suspended the black students, they came on the PA on the school intercom and told the students, quote, the administration is aware of tomorrow's planned protest. Police will be present here at school. And if students insist on encouraging this kind of activity, they will be disciplined for encouraging unrest. So, kids in high school waving Confederate flags, displaying Confederate flags, shouting racial tropes, epithets, and slurs is not ensuing unrest. And they're not facing any repercussions. But the students who were the brunt of all of this racial attention, bring this to your attention. You do nothing. So they decide that they want to protest, and you tell them, "Oh, y'all want to do what? We'll have the police out here to call to take you all to jail." Oh, the white people can do whatever the fuck they want. White students can do whatever the fuck they want. But you other people, including white people who align with you other people, y'all got police waiting for y'all. Fuck off if you want. This is why I keep telling you all it's not getting any better with the younger generation. The Generation Zers, a lot of them are worse than their parents and grandparents. This is in Georgia, in the great state of Georgia. I have to remind you that this is the same state where Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene was elected to the United States House of Representatives. What do y'all want me to do with that? What do y'all want me to do with that? I keep trying to tell, and somebody, and I hate, and I always say, God bless it. My grandfather was so wrong about this. My grandfather used to say, son, the only way we're going to get rid of some of this, racism and white people doing what they do is some of them going to have to die. Because they got kids and grandkids and great grandkids that is just as racist, if not more racist than they are. They don that same mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy as their forefathers. A mess. What do y'all want me to do? These are high school students. Listen, let me tell you something. I went to a black high school. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. At my black high school, we used to stage little protests and stuff and all kinds of stuff against stuff that was going on at the school. It was trivial stuff, but we knew what to do. We were allowed to do that. I don't even want to imagine if what what happened today in 2021 would have happened when I was in high school in the 90s. Okay, I was in high school in the 90s. Okay, tell my age. Graduated in the 90s, late 90s. But why are things worse now? It some some 25, almost 25 years after, not quite 25 years, but well, 25 years ago, I would have been in high school, but I didn't graduate 25 years ago. But why are things worse now, some 25 years after I was in high school, than they were back then? Like, there's no way when I was in high school in the 90s that I could have conceived in my mind during any homecoming celebration anywhere in my county, in Miami-Dade County. It was still Dade County back then. It wasn't Miami-Dade. I couldn't even conceive of a Confederate flag being flown anywhere, much less it being allowed by administration, and then administration suspending the black students because they had a problem with it. This is why. See, it's shit like this that happens. Why I get so mad at our side, the Dems. Even sometimes, even my progressive, because I'm more so than being a Dem, I'm a progressive. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not. I am a progressive. I know that. I'm a progressive, and I get so angry that they sit back and allow shit and acquiesce and coalesce to the other side, and they negotiate with these fucking terrorists on the other side. Like, there's no way on God's green earth, if I had anything to do with Congress, the Senate, or anything to do with politics on the Democratic side, that I would have anything to do with Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. Those fuckers. And we and the other side, and the reason I say that is because the other side is becoming more brash, more brazen about that. Their racism isn't hidden. It's not covert anymore. It's very overt. It's very much, yep, we're here. We ain't trying to hide it. We're showing you exactly who the fuck we are, and we're here for it. Here for all of it. You got a problem? Get over it. Matter of fact, if you can't get over it, we will sit your ass down and we'll suspend you, we'll arrest you, we'll kill you, and that'll be the end of that. The other side is definitely not trying to negotiate with us, but we're always trying to negotiate with these fucking terrorists. A fucking mess. Hmm. What do y'all want me? I read this when I first read this story earlier this week. I had to have a drink. I said, what the hell? And so if you're those black students at that school now, how are you expected to go back to that school and feel that you can bring anything to that administration? First of all, you feel like that administration is going to look at you sideways from here on out anyway. Secondly, you already know that and it's been proven that the administration is not here for you, don't see it for you, and anything you bring up to them, they're not listening. This is what our children are having to deal with. And that's why I get so passionate about it, because people seem to think that this stuff is getting better. It's not getting better. The next generation, Generation Z, and the generation after Generation Z doesn't look to be getting any better. I don't know, y'all. I do not know. But it just truly saddens me. It saddens me where we are. It really, really does. It really, really does. Because I don't know that our children, I feel like, and like I said, some of the stuff that is going on now, listen, when I was coming up in high school, I wish a motherfucker would talk about a Confederate flag. We weren't playing those games. We were not playing those games. We were not playing. Wait, what? You doing what? Nah, bro. You gotta come see me. Nah, you about to catch this. You about to catch these good hands. Mm-mm. We are not going down this road. Let me end on lighter notes, okay? On the Let me end on news of the frivolous and fuckery, okay? We've had our sugar spikes. Let's come down off our sugar spikes and talk about. I think I got two more stories. Yeah, two more. So my baby daddy and my boyfriend in my head, Nick Cannon. My baby daddy in my head. Um, don't do us Generation X. Us Generation Xers, Patty Duke, are fighting the good fight. Okay, I'm a Generation Xer. I am fighting the good fight. Okay. I mean, I'm at the tail end of Generation X, very, very, very tail end of Generation X. But I'm still Generation X, fighting the good fight over here. Okay. Hey, Miss Sharon. So my baby daddy in my head, Nick Cannon, my boo, isn't doing so well. So I think last week was his first or second week of his new talk show. It's not doing really well. Remember, we played the whole. I played on my channel. I don't know if it was Silly Saturday or if it was a Run Your Mouth or something like that. We played the whole. I think we played the theme song for his talk show. It's not doing that well. And I thought it would do well because I figured that Nick Cannon had a his network of friends was large enough where he could solicit good people on to have good conversation and talk good. It's not doing well. They are the views are not good at all. I don't think he had good marketing. Whoever was in charge of marketing or it didn't do a good job because I really didn't hear a lot about it until right as it was time for it to come on. And I think they should have did a lot more marketing of it. Nick Cannon pretty much has been pretty successful in his professional career in media, be it with Wild and Out, be it with, going all the way back to the days of all that. Hell, he was CEO and president of Nick Teens for a while. Um, so he's been very successful in his career, and everybody takes an L, at some point or other in their career. And I guess this is one of his L's. This is not the only L he's ever taken, but this is one of them. And so I'm um I'm surprised. I really thought, see, to me, if I were Nick Cannon, I think what Nick Cannon might have gone wrong is Nick Cannon might have tried to play to the masses at first instead of playing to his base. Nick Cannon's base is the black community. So had he, I feel like if during the beginning and the inception of his show, if he had catered to his base, if you can please Black America, Black Twitter, and the black people, white people will uh, white people will come along for the ride. They know they have no real culture of their own. They know they have nothing that makes them, you know, interesting. And so they have to steal their culture from every other culture. And so stick to your base, which is black culture. And if he would have had great interviews and celebrities all during the beginning of his show that stuck to his base, us black people, the white people will come along for the ride. Let's be clear. That's just how I feel about it. So What y'all talking about? Y'all is over here talking in this chat. What are y'all talking about? I will never forgive Ginsburg and her hubris of not stepping down, set up back decades on. Well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg should have stepped down during Obama's tenure. What happened was because she didn't do it during Obama's tenure, when and I had heard that she was getting ready to do it. And then, as she was contemplating it, I think she waited too long. But as she was contemplating it, that's when Scalia passed. And when Scalia passed, and McConnell said, "Oh no, the fuck y'all don't think y'all finna get a Supreme Court justice in here," and wouldn't let it go through. It At that point she couldn't. It was too late at that point. She couldn't retire, and so she was forced to stay there until. And she had hoped that Hillary would get in there, and when Hillary didn't get in there, then I think she, like most people, expected Hillary to get there. And when Hillary didn't get in there, now it was just oh God, I got to try to, wait this out, because you couldn't do it while Trump was there willingly. And that's how we get to what happened. Now, Ginsburg should have retired prior to that, but earlier in Obama's tenure, but when she really was serious about doing it and contemplated it, Scalia died, and that threw everything, topsy turvy. Yeah, y'all are over here talking in this. Tracy, you think Nick Cannon's base is not white? His base is not white. He has a lot of white following now, but I don't think his base is white now. His base is not white. He has a large white following because of Mass Singer, and what was that, X Factor, or So You Think You Could or whatever the show was, America's Got Talent, X Factor, one of them shows that he was hosting. He has a large white following now, but his base is still black. Child. Well, listen, I'm still mad that the Dems, when they got in power, did immediately stack the court. Baby, I would have made that court a quarter 15 so fast. I would have even made it 13. I would have made it 15, which means that I could have appointed I could have appointed an extra 6 people on. Is because some people were saying 13. Yeah, make it 13. You can appoint an extra 4. Nah, bitch. Fuck, cause that would have been what? If it was 13, it would have been 7 to 6. Fuck that. I'm not trying to play nice with you people. I would have made it 15 and would have made it 9 to 6. Fuck you whores. Die slowly. We got a super majority. I don't care how y'all feel. You ain't getting shit. That's what I would have did. That's just me. Are you mad? Who you mad at? Y'all would have did it. I'm just saying. Anyway, I would have had 15. Jason, I would have had a 9 versus 6 majority. What you want? What? It's 9 versus 6 over here. What? Problem? Problem. You cannot play nice with these people. You can't play nice with people who don't play nicely. I'm just saying. That's what I would do. But they're over here trying to play nice with terrorists like Joe Manchin and Kirsten Cinema. Fuck out of here. Joe Manchin, who is hated by the Republicans in his state as well as the Dems in his state at this point. Why the fuck are y'all even listening to him? Anyway, we're not going to even go down that road. So, Fat Joe said one of the worst statements I've heard in all my life. I've never heard a worse statement in all my life. Okay. This week, Fat Joe said that the baby is 2021's Tupac. I'm gonna let y'all comment on that in the comments. I'm just gonna turn around and let y'all have at that. Fat Joe said that the baby is 2021's Tupac. Just want to sit here and eat my head. I don't know what y'all want me to do with that. I'm gonna say this again so y'all in the back can hear this. Fat Joe, that's y'all friend, not mine. I ain't here for Fat Joe. Said the baby is 2021's Tupac. Our theme of the day clearly is, what do y'all want me to do with that? That's our theme of the day. What do y'all want me to do with that? I'm not a Fat Joe fan. I respect Tupac for who he is, and I'm not the biggest Tupac fan, but I damn sure know the baby ain't nobody's Tupac. Should not even be mentioned in the same breath as Tupac. And I'm not a Tupac fan at all. I'm a Biggie fan. I'm just gonna be clear. But by no stretch of the imagination are we gonna even entertain you putting the baby in the same breath that you will put Tupac. You're a disrespectful Fat Joe. You are First of all, Fat Joe, we didn't even know who you were until Tupac was already dead. I didn't even know who Fat Joe was until Tupac was dead. Maybe they knew you in New York. I don't know, but I didn't grow up in New York. I was not born and raised in New York. I didn't know who you were until Tupac was good and dead. I knew Big Pun. I didn't know your stinking ass. Fuck out of here. Right, right. The diaries. He's somewhere cussing in the afterlife, just cussing. Like the baby is what? I'll agree with that, Jason. East Coast Tupac was better than West Coast Tupac. I will agree with that. Y'all better go take that whatever Fat Joe is smoking. Take that out his hand. Take it out his hand. Take it out his hand. I used to mix them up too, which is why Big Pun had to always say his name in his raps so you didn't mix him up with the fuck shit and fuckery that is Fat Joe. That's why Big Pun always said his name. So you didn't make no mistake in thinking that he was Big Pun. I mean that make no mistake in thinking he was Fat Joe. I'm just saying. Anyway, we done been on here 2+ hours, y'all. I'm about to get off here. I'm about to go lay down and rest. This was a late edition of Silly Saturday. I apologize. I had to go to work this morning, so that's why I wasn't on with y'all this morning. I hope y'all enjoyed this late edition of Silly Saturday. Um, as I always say when I end, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, person, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions to the channel. Thank you, but Jessica. Thank you, Tracy, for your contributions to the channel. You know it always goes to the betterment and uplifting of the channel. I try to bring y'all good stuff. I try to, enlighten you all, edify y'all, and keep you all informed. I have a live coming up this coming week. I think y'all will. I'm not going to let the cat out the bag yet. Just look around for it, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be really good. I expect you all to be able. It's going to be so much fun, and I think you all will really enjoy it. So look forward to that. I did no reviews this week. I know, so I'm way past doing all my reviews. I owe y'all 2 weeks worth of Queen Sugar. I owe y'all. That's all I owe y'all. And I owe y'all Blood and Water. I owe y'all 2 weeks worth of Queen and Sugar. I owe y'all at least 2 Blood and Waters. I believe Insecure starts tomorrow. I think Insecure starts tomorrow. You know I'll be reviewing Insecure. So yeah. Well, I'm glad you caught me live, the diaries. Glad to have you here. Um yeah, this is not, y'all know normally I'm here in the mornings on Saturday, but we're here late. And I'm glad y'all enjoyed me late. Your band review. I gotta get with Terrence because Terrence, I'm gonna get with blame it on me and Terrence. We gotta get together because we are so behind. We supposed to be doing band reviews all this fall. We are so behind. Matter of fact, he hit me up and I told him I was ready to do it and he never hit me back. So I gotta hit up Terrence so we can do our band reviews. So I'll get with Terrence on that, Tracy. I'll get with Terrence on that and we'll make that happen. So yeah. That's all I got for y'all. Can I get some shondos in the chat before I get out of here? Shondos around the building. Shondos all over the floor. Y'all know how we do. Anyway, So Tracy, yes, I'll get with Terrence on that because we owe you. We are way behind on our band stuff. So yeah, I'll get with him on that. Anyway, if that be all, Shondo to you, and Shondo to you too. Once again, I'm grateful to be here with you all. Hope you all laughed because it's silly Saturday and we laughed. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you have something to take away. Um, with that being said, thank you all so much for being here. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.